Hello and welcome to Fresh Faced One Shots. I'm Jacob Licklider. With
And
me
I'm
is.
and I'm the fucking guy that can't get an intro right. So I'm Joey. Hello.
Hello.
Today we're talking about Superman #3 by Joshua Williamson and Jamal Campbell. It's great. Look, I feel like maybe it's because we've recorded these 3 issues back to back to back, but I feel like we've been saying just we love it so much.
Yeah, I mean, we
do
very much
because it's
have.
great. Because
It's been great. I will say, in between recordings, I thought about what some of the Parasite designs kind of remind me of, and you're gonna laugh when you say this.
Okay.
Randy Feltface.
Yeah. You know what? Yes. Baby Parasite is Randy Feltface.
It's Randy Feltface.
I'm not going to be able to unsee that now.
No.
In the meantime...
Once once it's in your head, it's stuck there. It's
Yep.
stuck there.
Yep. Blueberries are fucking purple. So... First off, we have a great cover here. I don't know. I just love it. I love this look. I just infected Lois and kissing Clark in the air. I love it. With all those extra arms coming out from her. It's awesome. Yeah, really
so
great.
many arms.
Yeah.
So many arms.
We open on a really great sequence. Lex, once again, thinking he owns everything inside the prison. Superman comes in, completely infected by the parasite now. And I love the way Williamson writes infected Superman. It's
Yeah.
really fun.
I'm glad it's not like trying to be Bizarro or anything.
No, it has its own unique style.
It feels like Clark is still in there, just like fighting to get all the words out.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Anytime I
slowly.
see dialogue bubbles written in this specific way, though, with all those spaces, I just think of Swamp Thing.
See, I haven't read any Swamp Things, so
That is true. It's specifically how early Swamp Thing is written. So,
okay.
yeah. Anyway, we go for Livewire here. Livewire starts to play a role in the plot finally, once again. We take her over to Supercorp, and we take Lex, which I find really interesting because Superman's just allowed to take Lex away from prison, apparently.
I mean, everyone's a parasite, but also, okay, we learned something about Livewire as a character here.
Yes.
And that, first off, he's fucked Lex Luthor is heavily implied to have happened, and also has dressed up as Supergirl. I think that's fascinating.
Yes. Yeah, it's fun. But yeah, so we take Livewire, we take Lex out of prison apparently, and we go to Supercorp. I love this new sort of like protective suit we give to Parasite Superman, this white and red. It looks really nice.
It's a very Superman 78 Kryptonian.
Yeah.
Like,
once again, Jamal Campbell's use of colors throughout this are just really nice. Yeah, they look fantastic.
yeah. And then like Clark is in a biosuit, so he stays as Clark and not turning back into Parasite. And you just see a mountain of parasites.
Yeah.
Like, so many. And a lot of this is fascinating. Mercy is here as well, and she's probably the one villain in this to show actual compassion. Like, I don't know if I would classify her as a villain. I have a feeling Williamson is trying to set someone up for a redemption arc, and it's probably going to be Mercy Graves.
I would assume so. If either that, or she just becomes even more evil by the end, like more evil than Lex, I would say.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
That could be where we're going.
Well, yeah.
It could go either way.
Because in this issue, and it's come up in the last 2 issues as well, like, one of Clark's sort of hang-ups is he doesn't want to give up on Lex. Like, he's taught, don't ever give up on someone as a person, which I love that. I love that as an idea. Williamson, the way Williamson characterizes Clark throughout all of this is just perfect. Like, no notes. He's great. And there's just some, amazing and this is only 3 issues into an ongoing that has been confirmed as an ongoing.
Yes, Dawn of DC. Your things that you've confirmed as ongoings should remain ongoings. But Superman will obviously remain an ongoing. Just, cough, cough, Unstoppable Doom Patrol, cough, cough, Green Arrow.
Yes.
But I digress.
Also, apparently it's radiation that caused the parasite virus to happen.
Makes sense.
And then Livewire's here because it's basically Livewire needs to shock Parasite into submission, which is fascinating. And then you have
lets Parasite take his powers. That Lex and his, of course, kryptonite gun can actually affect Parasite and all the baby parasites, and it's nice. It's great to see. It's a great little plan. It's nice.
It's a nice plan.
And again, we let Lex have a kryptonite gun again. Why do we do
Somebody needs to. Okay. Somebody needs to monitor Lex Luthor's cell 24/7.
For real.
Both on camera and literally have someone physically watching him between the bars.
Yeah.
Because I am sure Lex could, I don't know, hack it so there's, a loop of him doing stuff that, your regular prison guard wouldn't notice.
I love how this starts to resolve here, and I love Campbell's art when all the parasites sort of start morphing together and becoming one, and just how big he gets, and it's just it's so cool looking. I really love it. And again, we get some really nice campy parasite dialogue here, like we did back in the first issue.
Yeah.
Starts to wrap up here. Rudy passes out, and that's the end of that. He falls asleep. We open up on a new day in Metropolis, and everything's cleaned up. John and Kara are helping everyone, helping the citizens of Metropolis. And Clark, once again, one of those classic Superman excuses. Clark was apparently locked in the bathroom this time. And then Jimmy's again? Which I just thought was really fun. Also, we get a Bibbo call out, which is always nice.
Bibbo having breakfast burritos, which, Bibbo Bibowski owning a food cart. I love that. We need to see. You cannot, Mr. Williamson, Mr. Campbell, you cannot tease this and not show it. I know you have more issues coming, but this is the thing. I demand as a fan to see this at least once, please. That would be amazing.
More on that later, hopefully. We get this really wonderful kitchen scene between Lois and Clark.
And just
reflecting on all the events that have recently happened.
And also, just in the background, all the super kids.
Yeah. We also get an editor's note in here, importantly, just reminding us of Marilyn Moonlight existing. So I'm sure that will become more important later on. But I don't know, I just love this scene. I especially love these last 3 panels that close out the scene of Lois and Clark together, because you called it out back when we did the first issue. Just the way that Williamson and Campbell portray Lois and Clark here as characters, and just how in love they are. It's beautiful to see. I love it. I also really want to know what song they dance to.
I don't know. Probably some sort of golden age jazz standard of some sort. Sure. It's gotta be classic. Also, on Marilyn Moonlight, I find interesting, it sounds, calling yourself, the spirit of Metropolis, it's a whole thing. First off, I like the editor's note. The editor's note feels very classic comic book, the way it's stylized. We saw the daring debut of Marilyn Moonlight last issue. More than just see Superman #2, which a lesser editor would do. But also, it feels like we're going to try to delve a little bit into Metropolis's past.
Yeah, that could be real fun, because we got that little glimpse last issue of it looked like an old western town.
Yeah, it was Wild West, maybe 1800s.
Yeah, so we could really play around with that in future issues, I think. But then we visit Lex in prison. Superman visits Lex, and it's a really great scene, once again analyzing their relationship. It ends in Superman continuing to trust Lex Luthor because he doesn't want to give up on him, which is probably a mistake, but I don't know. I'm excited to see where it goes. But it ends in Superman giving Lex, I'm assuming, his own little Jimmy Olsen watch.
Jimmy Olsen Superman watch. And Lex just looks so satisfied.
So pleased with himself. Because in helping Clark to defeat the parasites, he has gained Clark's trust, at least a little bit, at least enough to get this.
Clark's willingness to work with him. I'd argue that Clark isn't trusting. I think Clark is smart enough to know that there is something that Lex might genuinely be scared about.
And once again, I think it's Clark finding another way to deal with his sort of sensory overload by giving Lex an actual way to contact him rather than just screaming into the void and knowing that Suits will respond.
It'll be interesting, really, really interesting to see what Lex does immediately next issue, if he uses the watch or continues to be a dick. I could see it go either way.
Superman agrees to start actually working with Supercorp now. I'm assuming there will be some conditions that we find out more about next issue. We get that to sort of end the issue, and then we get.
We didn't talk about it, but they did say when introducing Supercorp that Lex basically said, if you don't do the CEO, all of these people who work for me are going to be out of a job. Clark
is still helping people by doing this.
Yes.
Hopefully genuinely helping them. But
hopefully genuinely.
Then we get a nice little epilogue scene with our mystery villains. Do you know who that character is at the bottom, actually? I don't know if you do.
I don't, actually.
Silver Banshee.
Okay, that is not a name I've heard of. Also, Bizarro's head in a jar is just...
Bizarro's head in a jar is just the best.
That hurts. I feel like pain seeing this. I'm like, what did Bizarro ever do to you?
I also love the little to be continued, so I married a supervillain at the bottom. It's just really fun. Nice little tagline. Needless to say, I'm very excited for issue 4. I really have been loving this run so far, and if you ever wanted a reason to get into Superman comics, not just this title, but I was on my Twitter recently, and also if you're watching these, you can check out our Twitters, linked in the description below. But it's a really great time to get into Superman comics in general. Superman has a really great starting point. Action Comics has a really great starting point. You have the Round Robin Superboy miniseries coming out right now, and Adventures of Superman John Kent by Tom Taylor, which is doing some really cool things with John Kent and Injustice Superman. A lot of fun things coming out right now that are
also there's a Steel, I believe it was announced as a miniseries.
Right, Steel's starting up soon. A lot of really great opportunities to get into Superman comics. You should absolutely read at least one of them. And personally, at the top of my list is this one. It's a really fantastic run so far.
So where do we think this is going?
That is the question.
Part of me wants Williamson to go crazy and implement time travel somehow.
I also know that I shouldn't, but part of me, much like Clark, does want to trust Lex just a little bit.
See, the Lex thing I'm conflicted about, because I'm like, first off, I think it'll feel cheap if Williamson just has Lex basically betray Clark and whatever.
But it's interesting because Williamson is still writing Lex with that snark that I could still perfectly picture, like a Clancy Brown type voice, that he still feels completely in control, and he's not. It doesn't feel, at least right now, that he's playing Clark. It feels like he is, to some degree, being genuine as a man like Lex Luthor can be. So I think you could have a lot of fun with that. But I love all the different threads we've set up in these first 3 issues. I'm really interested to see, hopefully delving into Metropolis's past with Marilyn Moonlight. We can have a lot of fun with that. Just a lot of fun things you could do. I'm loving the style, I'm loving the look, the feel of this whole run so far.
Yes.
And it should be really
enjoyable. It is great.
We've recorded 3 of these in a row now. We should probably come up with an outro.
Yeah, well, thank you everybody for watching. While we usually try to put links to what we're buying, I think we can at least put a digital link to buy it on Amazon.
I can put a digital link to Amazon. You can go check that out. Or also, if you are in the market of buying physical copies of single issues, a personal favorite of mine is My Comic Shop. You can go on there. You can get a lot of things shortly after they come out, still for cover price, unless it got jacked up super quickly. That usually doesn't happen. Although I know one time it did happen, and I was very happy to have an issue of Batman in my pull box. But that said, yeah, my comic shop is a personal favorite of mine. If you're looking for physical issues, or just visit your local comic shop, because please support local comic shops.
Yes,
it's very important. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. It really does.
Before we go, we should announce either next time or the time after, depending on release dates. It's since we mentioned in the last couple of episodes, this Fresh Face One Shots is mainly is going to be tackling multiple series. Our next series that we are tackling, I believe, in the month of will be in the month of May, tackling Batman: The Brave and the Bold #1.
Yes, by Various, and it'll be our first sort of anthology series, which sounds
yes.
And also Tom King. If you know me, you know I'm a massive Tom King fan, so it should be really cool.
Joey loves Tom King. I have no opinion on
You have no opinion. But I guess we'll find out. So be sure to join us then. I'm not sure. I think Brave and the Bold #1 comes out before Superman #4. So
yes,
be sure to join us then.
We will also be continuing Superman for the foreseeable future, unless somehow Williamson just drops the ball and makes it unreadable.
Right. I really can't see that happening anytime soon. But hey, who knows? All right, thank you so much for watching. I guess until next time, this has been Joey Morgan
and Jacob Licklider.
Goodbye.